if you can't protect the innocent, if you can't protect those that are weak in your society, and then you turn to God like he's supposed to protect you, please God, bless us, bless America. You know, I'm looking right now at that fucking monument, that motherfucking monument right there at the center of our unholy city, at the center of power in our country. I'm looking at that thing, and you realize that this whole city is built around a sex cult. That sex cult didn't just show up here in America a few days ago, a few years ago, a century ago. It goes all the way back into biblical times, even into Canaan land and Babylon before that. And what was the significance? When we think of the Holy Lands and Israel and in biblical times, oh, it was so wonderful, and King David was there, and there's, you know, all the holy everything, you know, cities and the temple and everything else. That was the best of times and the worst of times. That was this holy place where the seat of God, the throne of God, was first in the tent of meeting, and then the temples that were built by Temple of Solomon and before. When these holy places were built, right there in the same land, what do we see in the scriptures also? We see conversation about on the mountaintops, on the hills, around the holy city, around this holy land. The people were taking their children up to these hilltop sacrificial sites, and they were making their children to pass through the fire. That's a preacher in the pulpit, a 501c3 church way of saying they roasted their children alive, babies alive, in these sacrificial offerings to Baal and Moloch. It's right there in the Bible. What was going on in the land before the people of Israel came out of the desert, out of the Sinai desert, went into Jericho and then the other cities in Canaan land, the land of the children of Cain? What was going on? They were sacrificing children to Baal and Moloch, to Satan, because the devil required them to sacrifice their children in order to have a good harvest, to have health and other things. So they were literally roasting their children alive for gain, sacrificing them to Satan. And then you look at what's going on in America and the rest of the world. We look the other way. We even protect people that do things that we would personally find hideous, unacceptable here in America. The way countries like Saudi Arabia treat their women, like slaves internally.